Trek Beyond is directed by Justin Lin and stars the cast from the previous Star Trek films directed by J.J. Abrams. Now, a little back history. When the first Star Trek film came out back in 2009, it was directed by J.J. Abrams, and when I first heard about this film, I was kind of skeptical about it because I didn't really have much thoughts going into it. Growing up, I was never really a Star Trek fan myself. Like, I watched part of the Next Generation films, but I never seen the original series. And I saw some of the Next Generation films that came out, such as First Contact, Insurrection, and all them. But I never really seen the original series growing up because I didn't even know it existed until after I saw Star Trek Generations. And when I was hearing about this new movie coming out in 2009, it kind of got me curious because I was kind of wondering, like, what could they have done that, because it kind of made me wonder if they're going to go, like, continue from the other films. The 2009 film was basically a reboot / continuation of the original series because it basically made it to where you could still watch the original movies, but at the same time, you didn't have to necessarily watch all of them in order to understand its story. So, to me, that's where the best kind of quality comes as far as a reboot. I saw the first Star Trek film, I thought that it was a really good movie. I thought that it was a good sci-fi flick, and even though I've only seen parts of the first season of the original series, from what I was getting in the 2009 movie, it looked like it captured the original series pretty well with focusing on the younger versions of the cast from the original series. And so I liked what they did with the story and how they were able to start fresh from scratch with this new cast. And then in 2013, I also got a chance to see Star Trek Into Darkness, and that film, even though it kind of took some elements from Wrath of Khan, I thought was a worthy sequel with making the stakes higher and making the story unfold a lot deeper into the realm of the younger cast and taking a darker turn. So with this new film coming out, it kind of got me curious, but when I was first seeing the trailers for this film, I kind of got thrown off by it because from when I was seeing the first trailer, it looked like they were going a little bit too much into comedy into it because it was written by Simon Pegg. And from what I was seeing in the trailers, it looked like they were just focusing too much on the humor side of it instead of going into a regular Star Trek story. And then when I saw the second trailer, that's when it actually got me curious because that first trailer, it seemed like, even though it was kind of doing a callback to the first film, because it plays sabotage in the trailer, but when I saw the second trailer of the movie, it kind of got me curious because not only did they have better music, but it actually seemed like they were actually getting more into what Star Trek is all about. So I kind of had some low expectations for this one, and when I finally saw the film today, I thought to myself, wow, that trailer was completely misleading. Basically, what happens is there's a new alien race that's looking for this device that is on board the USS Enterprise that Captain Kirk has, and the crew discover there's a device is being searched for by this ruthless leader called Rawl, played by Idris Elba. And then all hell breaks loose. Now, I gotta say, much to my expectations, I really loved this film a lot. This really succeeded my expectations as far as Star Trek. Now, I was a little skeptical of what they were going to do when Justin Lin was attached to direct the film, because this is the director that's known for doing the Fast and the Furious films. And while I like those films a lot, I was kind of skeptical at first seeing him take on this directing job, coming off the success of J.J. Abrams' 2 films. And lo and behold, I really enjoyed this direction that he pulled off in this movie. First of all, this film really blends a lot of good humor and action really well, especially with the main cast. Everyone in this film gets to shine, and you get to see all their chemistry on screen. Now, we've seen the other 2 films where they kind of veer off, where it's mainly focused on Kirk and Spock the whole time. What I love about this movie the most is that you actually get to see everyone shine in their own moments, and you actually get to see a lot of what the crew does when they're not controlling on the ship and everything, which I thought was really cool. And what I also enjoyed too was not only did you get to see their chemistry, but you also get to introduce this new character named Jayla, I believe her name is. And I thought this woman was an ultimate badass. She was a great addition to the cast, and I thought that her comedic timing with Scotty, played by Simon Pegg, worked pretty well, and I really liked what they did with her character. And what I also enjoyed too was I love the music, how you get that theme they have from the first movie. there are parts in the film where I'm watching it where it kind of sounds like they're using snippets from the original TV series music with the dun 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 dun, you know, that kind of music. I thought it was pretty. It was a nice little treat, and this is the 50th anniversary of the Star Trek series, and this film really captures a great tribute to the original franchise while also doing its own thing too. It has a great with the action scenes and how they're crafted and everything. I liked what Justin Lin did with trying to pull off all these cool stunts that they use, and I'm not sure if these are supposed to be Klingons or if they're a different race, but these aliens have like a really unique look that kind of reminds me a little bit of the Klingons, and I thought they looked pretty cool. And I also enjoyed Idris Elba. I thought he was a really great villain as well. Now, I was watching the movie, I was kind of worried at first because throughout the movie he is kind of just playing just a regular standard villain. But as the film goes on, you do start to discover certain things about this guy and the way he's like raising the stakes higher and everything. I really enjoyed him a lot in this movie, and I thought that he pulled off a really intimidating villain. And he gets pretty brutal in a lot of scenes. And another thing I also love too is not only did it capture its own story pretty well with going on to this new planet they explore, you also get to see references to the original films, and you get to see like you also get nods and also great tributes to a lot of the original series, which I thought was pretty fun, which was very heartwarming. And sadly, we lost Leonard Nimoy not too long recently, so the movie does do a nice respectable thing with Leonard Nimoy's character as Prime Spock. So I thought that was very touching what they did, and a great respect to the original series. So I do really like what they did with that. Also, sadly, it was kind of sad seeing Anton Yelchin play Chekhov one last time, and I thought he was really great in this film. It was good seeing him one last time as Chekhov, and he did have some cool, funny parts where he's talking to Chris Pine, and I thought them two had a good banter. But the one that stands out for me the most is Bones and Spock. I thought them two had fantastic banter back and forth. How Spock's giving him, telling him all these philosophies and everything, and Bones is just cracking jokes about him, cracking jokes and everything. And I really enjoy Carl Urban as Bones, and I think this guy alone really makes this movie worthwhile, you know. He cracks me up in like every scene he's in. Now, there is one flaw I do have with the film, is that the 3D did kind of almost give me a headache. It didn't really work out too well. It wasn't that good. I thought when I was watching the whole time, I thought it was just looking like I was watching a 2D movie. It looked very blurry at times and really didn't come across as a 3D any way of 3D. So watching this in 3D and knowing that I had a similar experience to this when I watched Transformers Dark of the Moon 5 years ago, the movie did have that problem for me. But that didn't hold the movie back, because if I watched in 2D, I wouldn't have had that problem at all. But overall, I really do love Star Trek Beyond. This, to me, was one of the best movies of the year, and I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. And I think that it is definitely worth checking out in the theater. If you can, check it out in 2D, because it is not worth at all paying full price to see this in 3D. If you want a really good experience and not only a great action film, but a good Star Trek film, this is definitely the movie for you. And I think that fans of the original series can probably look into this movie as well and see that it's a great Star Trek story, and it's something that a lot of fans will enjoy. What did you guys think about Star Trek Beyond? Comment below, and if you like what you see here, you can check out my channel on YouTube, and I'll see you guys in my next review. See ya.